Howdy doody guys, it's Lara here from Rapture Arts. Now I'm here to talk to you about your windmill. We've had a look at our windmill on the floor, and I highly recommend before you do it on the pole, warm yourself up by doing it on the floor. Jump down on the ground and remember our steps. We've got to kick across to the sky to the side, and then we let our other leg follow, kicking across our body. As one foot comes up to the sky, the other one opens out to the side. As the first foot comes up to the sky, the other one is down, sliding it across and rolling onto our stomach. Now, as you know, you can play with that on your elbows, on your back. You can have all sorts of different positions where you play with that move. But by doing it on the floor first, you're getting your legs used to the motion that they're going to be doing on the pole. You're warming them up. But by also getting your legs used to it, it means they're more likely to follow the path that you want them to follow when you're on the pole. So make sure you try both ways a few times just to get that comfortable flow going with your legs so that they know what they're doing when we transfer that onto the pole. So remember, kicking across, up to the sky, out to the side, and the other leg follows. So when one is up to the sky, the other one is across, and they draw the rainbow together, rolling over so you don't feel like you're tied in a knot, and you finish that move. So transferring it onto the pole, this is the first time we're going to look at our basic invert grip. Now, it's not as scary as it sounds. We introduce it here so that we can get used to how it works in stabilizing our body. We're going to do more moves later in our basic invert grip. Then we're going to do conditioning in our basic invert grip before we even look at going upside down. But by creating that pathway of one move, then another move, then another move, and having rocks thrown over my head, you know not to throw rocks. Or honky nuts. Sorry. By creating that progression from one move to another move, using that grip, you're slowly gaining the strength and the confidence before we even look at going upside down. So let's have a look at that grip. We have our inside hand around the pole at face height. Good thing about this one is you can also wrap your bicep in and get that little bit extra skin here. You've got your outside hand on top also at face height. Now the idea here is to stabilize. We're not lifting ourselves. Our head and our shoulders are going to stay still. We are stabilizing our body. So we've got our body stabilized. We're holding ourselves nice and still. The thing you want to worry about is hitting your hip onto the pole. That hip bone into the pole is really not nice. Okay, you'll notice a lot of moves that you start in this grip, you actually start with your hip in front of the pole. For this one, I'm going to kick my inside leg 45 degrees away from the pole. That gets my hip in front of the pole. That leg then comes around, the other one follows. We're now finished tied up in a knot like you are on the floor. All we need to do, like we rolled onto our belly, is pivot to face the pole. So if you land more on the balls of your feet, it's more comfortable to pivot. If you land really flat-footed, you get this thud, and then you're on your heels and you don't feel like you can move anywhere. So landing on the balls of your feet just allows more fluidity, and then you feel like you've achieved. That's all it needs to really finish it off from going, where am I, what am I doing, oh, I've stuffed up, to, hey look, I got it. Yeah? So you're going to start nice and low. As you get used to it, your legs will come up. This move isn't a lot about flexibility. It's actually about angles. Once you get used to it, you can get a slight lean back. With that lean back, your legs can get really high. So let's have a look. We're going to put it all together. Inside hand wraps around at face height, outside hand just on top. Remember, we're stabilizing. We're not dropping, we're not lifting, we're holding ourselves still where we are. We're going to kick 45 degrees away from the pole. We're going to circle that around in a rainbow, and then the other leg follows. Land, pivot to face the pole. Now if you cut that rainbow short and you don't do a full circle, you tend to go and slam down and kind of jar onto the floor. So we just want to make sure you finish that whole curvature. We're not trying to cut it short. We're letting the whole rainbow take effect. Yeah? So as you go, it'll slowly get higher and higher and higher Eventually, if you get a slight lean back, you can give the illusion of flexibility without actually having the flexibility. And that's just by creating that angle, leaning back, making your legs go a lot higher. So I hope that helps. Have fun with it. You can use it to go around the pole. Eventually you can do it up the pole. You could do it into a sit. It's a lot of fun, okay? If I swap directions with this one, I find that I've just got to do a little, like a step bowl change my footing, and I just make that part of my routine so that I can do one back the other way, and you can literally go back and forth. Going around and around in a circle makes me super dizzy. So find what works for you. Have some fun. Enjoy the journey, and thank you.